Jurgen Klinsmann is speaking about Lionel Messi, and he's come out and said that the Argentine needs to really and truly step up the plate or win more with Argentina to seal his legacy as possibly the greatest footballer of all time. Shaka Hislop with me on this one. Shaka, this is pretty much echoing quite a few other opinions who believe the same thing, such as myself. Are you agreeing with what Klinsmann says?
I've been saying this for quite some time. Now, maybe I'm dating myself. Maybe it's just because of how I grew up in the game and where I grew up in the game. But I continue to believe that the World Cup is the highest stage in the world's game.
But how do they get it now? What does Messi need to do? Because he plays well for Argentina, but he can't necessarily make everybody else play better.
Correct. And Argentina have a lot of issues that you can't deny. And I mean, you could look at the administration, you could look at the failure of players like Higuain and Di Maria, and you can go on, and the list is on and on, who, as good as they are for their clubs in Europe, as good as they perform in the Champions League stage, never seem to be able to come anywhere to mirroring that for Argentina. You could point to missed opportunities. Again, Higuain fluffing his lines on the biggest of stages. You saw that both in the World Cup and then the two Copa Americas, including the Centenario, to follow, which leaves Messi without a major title to his name. And the argument is he can't do it all on his own. You've got to rely on your supporting cast. But again, in echoing what Jurgen Klinsmann has said about the World Cup, for me, this is the highest stage. You look at the players who we regard as the best to have ever played. Pele, Maradona, I for one like Brazilian Ronaldo. You look at those like a Johan Cruyff, who, as good as he was and as loaded as he was, isn't spoken of in the same breath as those three, only because he failed to win a World Cup with the Dutch national team. I am convinced of that. Sorry, go ahead.
Does Messi need to be more or take on more of a leadership role? Because you mentioned one Ronaldo, but look at, for example, Portugal in the Euro 2016. Portugal were definitely not favorites to win it, but we saw Ronaldo and that kind of presence that he had, rallying the troops there. And Messi's always sort of the quiet one, let his game do the talking. But does he need to be more vocal? And then maybe the other players will step up to his level.
Possibly. And we're saying this, we're speculating here in that we don't really know Messi's role in the dressing room. We don't see exactly how vocal he is in the dressing room, and we're just going. But you do see his performances on the field, and those lead by example. But that can certainly be a point. Even within Argentina, you look at how Argentinians feel about Lionel Messi. They're kind of mixed in how they feel about his performances. I don't think that there's any mixed feeling in terms of where he ranks in terms of their own hierarchy. You only have to look at Diego Maradona and how he's lauded. He's not spoken of in the same terms. Many believe Mario Kempes, second after Diego Maradona, as the best Argentina players. So Lionel Messi, despite his heroics, despite the records that he continues to break, despite the bar he sets in Europe, Argentinians don't feel the same, and that comes down to that legacy, to that World Cup legacy. Now, many in Europe feel Champions League football is the highest that there is, and that the Champions League is now taking the place of the World Cup. There are quite a lot of people outside of Europe who feel very differently, and I'm one of those.
All right, I am one as well. Thank you so much, Shaka Hislop. So the debate continues, and as it stands for us, Messi does need to prove himself or win some silverware on the international stage to be regarded as the greatest of all time.